Welcome to Nifty, Banknifty and important stock analysis. Today, of course, is a Thursday expiry, so हम लोग वो context में analyze करेंगे Bank Nifty और Nifty को. So I hope that you've had your tea, coffee, and I certainly have. So without any further ado, we'll get started. Nifty's daily chart हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि not only is today an all-time high and an all-time high close, पर actually अगर देख सकते हैं हम लोग तो मैं zoom कर देता हूँ. दिस इज द प्रीवियस ऑल टाइम हाई. ये वाला जो कैंडल था 10th अगस्त का, दैट वाज द प्रीवियस ऑल टाइम हाई एट 16359.25. Today's close is actually 5 points above that level, which I think is a good sign. It's a bullish sign in my view. So that is what we are seeing with Nifty's daily chart. Again, this is what the actual candle looks like. और हम लोग देख सकते थे कि प्रीवियसली ये गैप का ही जो सपोर्ट आ गया था उससे काफी अच्छा बाइंग हो रहा था एंड टुडे इट्स एक्चुअली गॉन अबव. इन केस यू आर वंडरिंग, आई थॉट आईड स्विच थिंग्स अप विद द ब्लैक एंड वाइट, इसलिए वो ब्लैक एंड वाइट हटा के मैंने कलर्ड बार्स रखे हैं ये टाइप पे. सो आई होप यू लाइक द फ्रेश न्यू चेंज. बट दिस इज व्हाट इट लुक्स लाइक ऑन द आर्ली चार्ट. एंड आर्ली चार्ट पे हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि कैंडल्स का जो साइज है, फिर से मैं जूम इन कर देता हूँ. कैंडल्स का जो साइज है वो काफ़ी छोटा है, काफ़ी नैरो है, विच इज़ आइडियली नॉट अ वेरी गुड साइन बिकॉज इट जस्ट शोज कि थोड़ा रिस्ट्रेन्ड मूवमेंट था. सो इन दैट केस वन वुड पॉसिबली से कि यहाँ पे जो 16400 के कॉल राइटर्स बैठे थे और ऑब्वियसली 16350 के, वो लोग शायद थोड़ा ऑब्वियसली सम प्रेशर अराउंड देयर इज वेल एंड सम राइटिंग मस्ट हैव बीन हैपनिंग. सो ओवरऑल पॉसिबली ऑप्शन राइटर्स को आज काफ़ी अच्छा दिन मिला हो सकता है, गिवन दैट वी सॉ रिस्ट्रेन्ड मूवमेंट. नाउ आई विल गेट द ड्राइंग्स हियर एंड व्हाट वी कैन सी ड्राइंग्स में कि एक्चुअली वही रेंज के अंदर था एंड टुडेज सेशन एक्चुअली मैनेज टू क्लोज अबव दैट रेंज विच इज़ अ गुड साइन. बट सेलिंग अभी भी आ रहा है, सो लेट्स सी इफ इट्स एबल टू एक्चुअली होल्ड अबव दैट लेवल. फिर से एक बार डेली चार्ट पे मैं जाता हूँ जस्ट टू शो यू एन इंटरेस्टिंग ऑब्जर्वेशन दैट आई मेड. So previously, we saw Nifty going up and then we saw it moving within this range, narrowing within this range. Now also we saw Nifty breaking out और यही रेंज के बीच में वो मूव किया है और आज उसने रेंज का ब्रेकआउट दिया है. सो मे बी निफ्टी इज मूविंग इन दीज फ्लैग पैटर्न ऑफ सॉर्ट्स. सो लेट्स सी हाउ दैट गोज. और आज एक्सपायरी है तो 5 मिनट चार्ट भी देख सकते हैं. वी कैन सी इट्स ओवरऑल वेरी फ्लैट. सो अनलेस यू आर एक्चुअली एबल टू कैच अ वेरी गुड मूव, चांसेस आर आपको उतना शायद रिटर्न नहीं मिला होगा. सो दैट इज व्हाट वी आर सीइंग एंड in fact, somewhere I believe, somewhere here or I think here, I think 2 दिन पहले की बात है, I was looking at 16300 call for Nifty and it was at 125 rupees. So even though the market has actually moved higher, that same call is now worth probably 60 rupees or so, given ki expiry ki value hai. So it's very interesting how the premium has actually decayed, even though price has moved higher. And this is actually why people say ki, if you are trading options, chances are as a seller you might make more money. Obviously, risk ज़्यादा है and margin requirement is more. But ultimately, this is what it means. So just thought I'd let you know that as well. Bank Nifty's daily chart, we can see it's moving very flat and it's actually completely within this day's candle itself. तो अगर ये दिन का हम लोग रेंज देखें तो रेंज था अराउंड 2.67% आई थिंक. या एंड दैट 2.6% और सो पिछले 6 सेशन से वही रेंज के अंदर है. इनफैक्ट इट हैज़ नॉट रियली बिन एबल टू क्लोज एट दिस लेवल. सो एज ऑफ नाउ, that 36,030 mark appears to be a very important resistance. So let's see if it's actually able to clear above that level. On the 60-minute chart, we can see good support at 35,800 levels and the previous close level. So that is a good sign. In fact, we can see that the last two candles जो है वो काफ़ी अच्छे हैं in comparison to Nifty's last two candles. So I think that is a bullish sign. Now we'll come to the top stocks, and top stocks may obviously we start things off always with Reliance. Reliance, we can see 50 MA is approaching, which is a resistance, and the 2125 level is also acting as a resistance for now, but it's made a higher high and a higher low, which is a good sign. HDFC Bank देखते हैं 50 MA के above consolidate कर रहा है. HDFC Bank का I think the best sign is that it is above this red channel and it has actually closed above 1500. So I think those two things are good.
Yes, RSI 60 का resistance मिला है, but I think that is not really a very important thing in terms of price action. Next stock that we're looking at is Infosys. Infosys has shown us a very good move up until now, and possibly the next support might be around 1677, 1670-ish levels. So let's see how that go. Basically, ये वाला जो level है, ये वाला high, that is what I'm looking at. And obviously resistance I've already said 1744 के आसपास शायद आ सकता है, given that it's the next fib extension. All time high है, so it's uncharted territory. HDFC में we can see that it is still consolidating. Inside bar दिया है आज. So inside bar देता है, which means that obviously there's some sort of contraction in that sense, and maybe maybe it is just preparing to break up on the above side. So देखते हैं, let's see if that actually holds. 2620 के ऊपर है, that's a bullish sign. So my bias as of now is still bullish. ICICI Bank, we can see that yesterday we said support पे है और support से bounce किया है, RSI 60 के ऊपर है, which is a good sign. So again 700 के ऊपर भी close है. Overall, I think all things look not bad for ICICI Bank. Kotak Bank, we can see uh, some buying happening here, and it was possibly this level right here, 1760 ka level, जो आज का obviously low भी था, and that is where we saw good buying coming in. RSI is right around 60, so possibly if it actually holds on to this momentum, today might have been a good day to actually enter into a smaller quantity. So let's see how that actually goes. Next stock is SBI. SBI, we can see, is holding on to 50 DMA well, और 420 का भी support अब तक चालू है. 435 का resistance है. Today we can see the high was 430.45, which was also the open. Next stock is Axis Bank. We can see 50 MA has actually crossed above 20 MA, which is technically a death cross, because longer term moving average crossing above shorter term is not a good sign. But overall we can see कि overall जो price का trajectory trend है वो positive ही रहा है, ऐसे ही जा रहा है. Sure, थोड़े से minor hiccups आए हैं, but overall it's been looking pretty decent. So anything above 50 DMA I think is a good sign. Next I wanted to talk about not DLF. DLF is not a part of this list. I don't know why. So I keep all of them in this list. So yeah, JK Tire is actually the next stock in this list. So JK Tire, the reason why I'm picking this up is because aaj up hai around 8.75%, which is a great sign. I think on a high basis I think 10% hoga. Open equals to low tha, very good, and this was actually a candidate for me at the start of the day to go long. Trade basis, I'm going to let you guess for a few seconds, and just keep your guesses ready. But this is what it looks like overall. The first time I'd actually talked about this, spoken about this, was इधर, क्योंकि ये ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट दिया था, वो अच्छा साइन था. And the trade basis for today was not only ये अच्छा hammer candle था, but also it was right at the 50 DMA, which is a good sign. RSI was also above 50, so actually bullish bias था, and overall it looked good. Another stock that I want to talk about today is Vakrangi. Vakrangi हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि it's been beaten down quite a lot, but today it is up 20%, which is a very good sign. This is actually a holding stock of mine, so it's like मेरे को उतना कुछ फायदा नहीं हुआ, but it's a holding stock and I haven't added to it. But yes, overall it was looking like a pretty decent pick also, because it was heading towards this zone. So possibly ये वाला move, आज वाला move शायद catch नहीं कर पाया होता मैं. But definitely it's a stock which is on my radar. And another stock, so आज का actually top loser था Eicher Motors, we can see here, and the reason for that is because apparently Royal Enfield CEO has resigned. And obviously Royal Enfield is like the crown jewel of Eicher Motors for retail, क्योंकि pedigree brand type है, अच्छा margin है, high ticket value. So possibly that is why Eicher Motors corrected a little bit. I think intraday थोड़ा gain कर लिया था वापस. I think it was down 4.7% at one point, but that is what we're seeing. And a few other pharma stocks here. IndusInd Bank also one of the picks for me. I think it's a good, well-placed stock. These are the top gainers for the day. We can see Tata Motors is above 300, sustained, which is a good sign. And where are the sectors? Sectors क्यों नहीं आ रहे? Okay, sectors, I think they're just loading. Maybe internet is not that good, but yeah, that's what we're seeing. I hope you had a great Thursday expiry. And that's about it for this one. By the way, 36,000 level का अच्छा fight चल रहा था. So if you do track Bank Nifty, uh, Bank Nifty is here. Then I'll just do 60-minute chart and we can see 36,000 level ka acha chal raha tha, and 36,000 call writers would have possibly made good returns because it expired worthless even though it was just 9 rupees away. So overall pretty interesting session today, but that's about it for this one. See you in the next and happy trading.